Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 329 for the 18th of January for the Ukraine war, or the special military operation in Ukraine, if you are pro-Russia. So let's start off with the biggest news of the day, of yesterday, which is actually the crashing of a Super Puma in Kiev. So a helicopter has crashed in the residential area in the city of Brovary, in the Kiev region, and according to some agency and eyewitnesses, the helicopter actually exploded in the middle of the air, caught fire mid-air, and then it crashes and near a kindergarten. At least 18 people, including children, has been dead, and several heads of the Ukraine's interior ministry has died. So in total, 26 people were also injured, and this belongs to the State Emergency Service of Ukraine. So among the interior ministry or internal affairs ministry leaders that has been killed in this accident includes Denis Monastrisky, then his deputy Yevhen Yenin, the state secretary of the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Yuri Librovsky, and his assistants. Basically, the entire leadership of the ministry is gone, like one fell swoop. I'm not sure why is this even how could they all go onto the same helicopter at the same time, is beyond anyone's guess. If you are from United States, you might probably know that, like for example, Air Force One, the president and the vice president of the United States would never be on the same plane, like never ever, like so that there cannot be in one single accident the entire leadership of the United States is gone. So this is kind of weird where you have the entire internal affairs ministry all in the same aircraft. And then there can be also a few possibility. The initial rumors that I saw on Twitter was that the helicopter was actually shot down by air defense. This of course very hard to corroborate because nobody have any ideas. It was a foggy day, so a lot of helicopters do crash on foggy days, so it could be pilot mistake. But the fact that there was fire in the air, maybe that is also could be due to technical issues. There is some finger pointing that the French sell lousy helicopters with technical problems to other countries, especially African countries. So maybe that could be the case. Okay, I can move this icon here actually. So anyway, then there could also be one more thing. It could actually be an actual shot down, and actually it was due to internal infighting between within the Ukrainian side, which is, I think, is also possible. The least likely of all is what the Ukrainian I think one of the Ukrainian media claims, one of the always publishing fake news media. I forgot its name of the media. So they wrote that is sabotage by Russian agents or forces or whatever, which I think is the most unlikely because is freaking Brovary in the Kiev region. Is very unlikely. The security here, especially for people that is flying the helicopters, the ministry people, these are all their own people. It's very hard for, I think, agents or commandos to get involved so deep within enemy lines. That's what I don't believe. That's the least possibility. So but then the hacker group DPR Joker made a statement on their Telegram channel, and I believe that for those that have followed me, you might heard me say before that this Joker, this Telegram channel, and this hacking group, this guy is actually highly credible. They show a lot of evidence of their hacking, and the things that they say seems to be very real. Seems. I of course I cannot be 100% sure. So So, but read this with a massive pinch of Soledad salt, because they say that the crash is due to infighting. He said that the Minister of Internal Affairs of Ukraine know that the Ministry of Defense sell away the Western weapons that they got for the assistance, and because they know and they have been collecting all this evidence and information, the leadership wanted a share, and basically wanted to blackmail if they don't get a share. So the military side actually promised a share to them, to the internal affairs, which is actually the police leadership, or civil, or the emergency service leadership, and they even paid the first payment, but it was not very profitable for the military side to actually do this. So this actually strained their relationship, and perhaps this actually is the trigger. But of course, this is actually based on this hacker group's information, and you can believe it, don't believe it. It is very pro-Russian, of course. It sounds super pro-Russian. It's just a conspiracy theory. The higher chance, in my opinion, is technical issues, maybe, and due to the fog causing pilot misjudgment, and then the crash. But of course, because given that the war has been going for some time, we know that there's always been corruption issue within Ukraine. The possibility of infighting cannot be denied, and to wipe out to have the entire internal ministries leadership to entirely wipe out at once is quite crazy. So anyway, going back to the war, so because that was the biggest news, so I have to cover it a bit, to explain the perspective. Just believe whatever you want. Doesn't matter they died. It doesn't matter. They just died. So RIP to them. Command F to pay your respect. And the Ukrainian Air Force claimed that they have shot down a Ka-52 over the eastern part of Ukraine. It happened at noon on yesterday's January of 18. And moving on to the southern front, in the southern front, in the Mykolaiv, Kherson region, we do not have any information of fighting. And moving on to Zaporizhia, we have no information of fighting along the Zaporizhia line as well. But interestingly, that south of Velika Novosilka, I'm not even sure if I want to call this part of the Voleda line. The Zaporizhia line, or is this part of the Voleda line, under the Donetsk front, because it's in between. There is a Ukrainian offensive reported towards Uruzhany. This is reported by the Russian Defense Ministry. So one of the assault group actually from the Ukrainian forces tried to attack towards the direction of Uruzhany. So they were encountered by the Russian Eastern and Southern Military District with all the Pacific Fleet Marines. They just blend everything together over the 3 locations. So one of them. Moving on to the other side of the Voleda line, the Ukrainian offensive not just happened over there, south of Velika Novosilka. They also attacked at Solotki and Stepny. They are not fighting at Stepny or at Solotki, but they are actually fighting in the direction of. They are moving towards. They're probably within this farmland region. Looking at the roads here is horrible. They only have these main roads. Within the farmlands, there's just a few small roads, and the rest is not really mapped. I mean, it's just dirt roads along the tree line, so it's not going to be easy traversing through this terrain. Over at the Novomihailivka, there is a attack. Oh no, this is actually outdated. This is on the 16th, so it's outdated. Ignore this. At Boyeda and Morinka both receive information of fighting. We do have some information coming out from pro-Russian sources confirming that there are the fighting over at the Marinka region is by the Chechen forces. So, and they so-called captured a stronghold, including fortified positions. But so far from the monitoring of how they use the word stronghold, one single building can also be a stronghold. this is a stronghold, maybe this is also a stronghold, maybe this is also a stronghold. You know, everything can be a stronghold. It is really up to them how they want to terminologize. Sorry, how they want to term it. So it's really up to them. Moving on to the Pervomayske Pisky region. Positional fighting is reported at Nevelske as well as at Pervomayske. This information is coming out from the pro-Ukrainian source Deep State UA. It's not reported on the pro-Russian source. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry also reported fighting at Bodian. So in this region, there is, I think, fighting reported north of Opine, but that was some old information. And that's all from the Pisky region. Moving further up north, north of Avdiivka, this is Avdiivka city, the fortress city of Avdiivka. You know, it's really like a fortress. There is a, you know, there's a castle icon here. In the north of Avdiivka, there is fighting reported at Krasnohorivka, or towards Krasnohorivka. So the pro-Ukrainian source Deep State UA actually reported that on the eastern outskirts of Krasnohorivka, the Russian forces is pressing strongly against the Ukrainian defense. So there is some, you know, defenses pre-war, very limited. The main entrenchment is actually here, which is also, you know, not really seen, not very clear. So now the Russian forces is moving towards Krasnohorivka, and that's all we know of north of Avdiivka. Moving over at the New York region, there is no fighting reported here nor at Mayosk. This is Mayosk. And now we are in the Bakhmut front. At the Bakhmut front, so Bakhmut is actually, you know, very close to Luhansk, in between these two cities. Fighting is reported at Klishchiivka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. However, we do have some rumors reported or shared from Riba that there is a rumor of the capture of Klishchiivka. The press service of Prigozhin, the founder of the Wagner private military contractor, published a message about the liberation of Klishchiivka south of Bakhmut. According to the statement, they say that we can safely say that the village of Klishchiivka, which is one of the important suburbs of Bakhmut, has been fully taken under control by the units of Wagner private military contractor, exclusively by the unit of Wagner private military contractors. You know, they really wanted to put this out, like, you know, exclusively. You know, there's no other forces really you know, involved in this fighting. So they say that there's still fierce fighting around Klishchiivka, but they say that the Wagner private military contractors will continue until, you know, Bakhmut is captured. So and this shows two things. One, Klishchiivka might actually be captured. We will look out for more corroborating information. For example, Riba themselves or Riba themselves say that the town is captured, because this is just a repeating of what was published by the press service of Prigozhin. Or we can have, you know, the Russian Defense Ministry reporting this. So we want to get some corroboration, because this sounds very rumorish to me. The other thing that we can read from this is that there is a serious divide between the Russian armed forces and the Wagner private military contractors. I saw a rumor on Twitter by pro-Russian Twitter account sharing that the commander of the special military operation categorically say that the Wagner private military contractor is not part of the Russian armed forces. So, you know, there might be some infighting on the Russian side as well, you know, as compared to the Ukrainian side. The Ukrainian side have their infighting, you know, over maybe money issue. Maybe there's infighting over that. And then on the Russian side, you know, it's about prestige and pride. So ego problem. So moving on to Bakhmut city itself, we have fighting reported at Bakhmut, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and that's all we know of Bakhmut. There's no detailed reporting coming out from any pro-Russian sources, and pro-Ukrainian sources, we don't have it. Further up north of Bakhmut, we have continued fighting reported at Paraskovyievka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. We have fighting reported at Krasnohora as well, also by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So you pro-Ukrainian people, it's time for you to say sorry to me. And over at Blahoddatny, the pro-Ukrainian source, pro-Ukrainian source, this entire video is 70-80% all from the Ukrainian side. So you cannot blame me or say that I'm pro-Russian. You guys just do not know better. Yeah, I just need to rant about this. It's give me balance, and I feel it make me feel that the Soledad sword tastes better. And anyway, the fighting reported at Blahoddatny, this information of fighting reported at Blahoddatny only comes out in the pro-Ukrainian source, Deep State UA. I didn't see this in the pro-Russian sources. And they say that the Russians are putting pressure on Blahoddatny from the western outskirts of Soledad. And they say that this is actually very boring because the first attempt started a week ago. So it's nothing special. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry continues to report that there is fighting at Soledad. But they say that in the area of, I just write it as near Soledad because it's very hard to justify that the fighting is inside Soledad. So because the Russians themselves have reported that they have captured it, so I want to just put it nearby, near Soledad, and let's see if we have any other intel to suggest otherwise. Further up north, the Russian Defense Ministry finally catch up to the pro-Russian sources. The Russian Defense Ministry announced the capture of Sil or Sol or Silj or Soji. Sounds a bit Japanese-ish. Something wrong with my tongue today. And there is also fighting reported near Sil. According to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, they reported fighting at Sil, in the area of Sil. So I just write it as nearby. Just to corroborate a bit with the Russian side, we just wait for more information. At Krasnopolivka, there is according to Deep State UA, the Russian forces is fighting close to Krasnopolivka. And there is Ukrainian reinforcement reported yesterday. So the town is definitely going to continue to hold, I guess. We are now into the Seavers Front. So this is Seavers region. We are around here. And at the Seavers region, so I just zoom out that you see. At the Seavers region, there is in the northeast part of Krasnopolivka, we have fighting reported at Rozdolivka, as well as at Vasily. I think I forgot to put the icon here. Yeah, there's the same report at Vasily. There's fighting reported at Vasily as well. So the Russian forces within the Yakovlivka, bloom. Some of these pro-Russian people like to use the flower of Popasna, flower of Yakovlivka. Obviously, it's not flower, right? Everybody knows it's just an acne, or a pimple bursting. So it bursts northward now. And moving up north to Velkom Okanyamsky, there is fighting reported here according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and we also have fighting reported on the Luhansk version of Bilohorivka, also by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So, and that's all from the Seavers area front. At the Crimea front, the Russian Defense Ministry reported shelling in the Serebyansky forestry as well as at near Dibrova. The Deep State UA, the pro-Ukrainian source, reported positional battles or fighting at Dibrova and near Crimea. So there is some fighting, but both sides are not taking active actions. They are just fighting, shooting each other in position. So, and the Russians are happily bombarding the Ukrainians in their position. So we do not know whether the Ukrainians have heavy artillery within the region to help to do counter artillery. So let's see how this goes. Whether the Russians will push them or the Ukrainians will push them. Yesterday we reported the fighting at Serebyanka and Krychorivka, or Krychorivka or Grigorivka. Yeah, some people corrected me that they say the Y is not a Y, it's an I. You should pronounce it as a I. So Krychorivka. Yeah, but the Ukrainians put a Y, so I have to pronounce it Krychorivka. So, and there's fighting reported at Terny, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So the Russians are still, making the majority of the moves here. They are still in the initiative. Moving further up north, there is positional fighting reported at Klishchiivka, according to the Deep State UA, the pro-Ukrainian source. And that's all from the Crimea front. And further up north to the Specter Bay Front, we have heavy bombardments at Klishchiivka, at Novoselivsky, as well as at this location called Krokmalny. So this town is Krokmalny, and at Krokmalny we are already more or less in between Specter Bay and Kupiansk. This basically we are in the Kupiansk front now, and shelling is reported over here at Voronezh, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. All this shelling report is from the Russian Defense Ministry. If not, if they didn't put it in details, I would normally not report artillery shelling at the front line, because they do it every day. And I just a bit curious about the this Krokmalny place. I just want to take a look. So it's a small town along a major road. So rather quite important, I guess. This notice. Wow, red words for the border. So pretty. The guy that done this map must be so talented. And that's all for the summary for the day of 329 for the 18th of January 2023. And I want to just tell you guys in advance, today is Thursday in Singapore. Now it's Thursday for me. Saturday, I believe Saturday is Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year. Let me see. Sorry, it's Chinese New Year Eve. So I try my best to do a report, the Ukraine war report on Saturday, and I will do it as early as I can, because it's the Chinese New Year Eve. So for the Chinese, we have reunion dinner, family reunion dinner. So the evening is gone, and the first day of New Year is also gone. I may not even be in Singapore. And on the second day of New Year, which is the Monday, on the 23rd, I will also most likely will be unable to update. So I would be away for 2 days, for the 22nd and the 23rd. So just want to tell you guys earlier. So as such, also the open mic will be held earlier. It will be either later today or tomorrow, and so that we can still keep up with the the weekly open mic. So that because the weekend is just not possible, because Chinese New Year is really a major event for the Chinese people, and yeah, I there's no way I can get away from the family commitments that is demanded of me. So happy Chinese New Year to you guys. Or some people say it's not very politically correct, but so happy Lunar New Year. May the moon be with you, and I'll see you in the next update.